How are you lovely people doing today? My name is John. Welcome to a fantastic, a wonderful, a beautiful episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. This is the only series on YouTube where I take your questions about the zombie storyline and, well, I answer them. Whether it be a big, a small, or a simple question, I'm more than happy to answer it. So go ahead, leave your questions down below. Maybe I'll see it and hey, maybe I'll answer it. You may even be in the next episode. If you want, there's two ways you can submit your questions. First way is to leave them down in the comments below. I read all the comments, so don't worry, your question will get seen. However, the best way to submit your comment is to tweet me at JohnnyJ25. I'm always checking my Twitter, and I'll see your question pretty much as soon as it comes in. So those are the two ways. You can tweet me at JohnnyJ25, or you can leave them down in the comments below. Before we begin with the episode real fast, I want you guys to check out my second channel, a link down below. I'm currently on spring break now, which means I'm going to have plenty of time to start uploading onto that channel. So if you'd like to get more JohnnyJ25 in your life, check out my second channel. A link is in the description. Without further ado, let's begin. We're going to kick today's episode off with a question from John Vile, who asks, at JohnnyJ25, in Verruckt, you can press the action button on the doctor's chair and hear a buzzsaw and a man yelling in pain. Who is this man? So let's lay down the facts. First off, I don't know who this man is, and I personally don't believe he bears any relevance to the zombie storyline whatsoever. Now you're probably saying, John, well, why would you pick this question if you're just gonna say I have no idea and I don't think it matters at all? Well, let me explain what's going on with Verruckt. If you don't know, when you go up to the chair, you can hold F or X or square, I guess, whatever console you're playing on, and you'll hear this noise. So I couldn't actually get a man to scream, I couldn't trigger that. However, I could get the buzzsaw sound to play. And let me explain what's going on with this. We have to remember what we're playing. We're playing Verruckt, an abandoned Group 935 testing facility. This was an insane asylum in which they conducted research on the patients. There are many demented people living or who had once lived in this building, and they underwent some very traumatic experiences, so much so that many of them, almost their screams, their torture, their pain has been almost immortalized, trapped within the building. When treyarch includes little Easter eggs like this, they're trying to build the atmosphere. They're trying to give you a sense of all the dark shit that really went on within this building. I mean, look at some of the walls, where you'll just see some of the insane bloody carvings that people have scratched in with their fingers as they suffer from many of the demons that are infesting their brain. I mean, treyarch really wants you to get creeped out from this place, so when they include Easter eggs like screaming people or buzzsaws, they're almost sort of like triggers. They're trying to just make you a little bit on edge. Treyarch is trying to get this idea of how creepy this place is, and the idea is almost, it's like Verruckt was so bad, what happened to the people was so bad, that almost their souls, their pain has just been trapped in this place forever, and when you come back, you can almost feel it. It's eerie. It's almost like they're the ghost of the previous victims. That's what's going on with Verruckt when we hear all this screaming. It's not necessarily that these are people and they're specifically important. It's that their collective sort of experience is what's important. Moving on, we have a question from Rohan Saini, who says, how come Gideon in Exo Survival says, are you bitten? So this is a response to one of my questions in the previous episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A, where I basically explained why in-game the zombies don't bite you. And the basic idea was the zombies don't really bite you because it's not really physically possible in-game to animate the zombies devouring you. It's just not something that they have the capabilities of doing, so that's why the zombies hit you. It's not really important to the story, and sometimes you just have to chalk up things in the game to it's just a game, and that's why things are the way they are. However, that's not to say that zombies don't bite you, and I'd like to sort of clear that up. So in the game, the zombies don't exactly bite you, and that's because it's not physically possible. However, in cutscenes, we do see zombies eat people. Look in Mob of the Dead, for example. We see the zombies devour our 4 characters. And what that basically tells us is, sure, we're not really able to animate zombies eating people in-game. However, that's not to say that there aren't zombies eating people. I mean, that's the basic idea behind zombies. Zombies are monsters that devour people, and when they devour you, you become a zombie too. And when they're able to do it, they will do it. That's why we see it in the Mob of the Dead cutscene. So that's what's going on. Biting really does exist in the game. It's just that it's not really physically possible to do in-game while you're playing. And one of the ways we know this is when Gideon references it by saying, are you bitten? Or we see the Mob of the Dead characters get devoured. We're going to end today's episode with a question from Mr. Zombie Mod, who asks, does freeing the mystery man in Ascension have any relevance to the story? So the answer to this question, as it is with many questions, is both yes and no. It doesn't matter specifically that we freed Gersh. Like, Gersh isn't really that important of a figure in the storyline. We won't hear from him ever again. He didn't really have any important characteristics. He was just one of the lead people in the Ascension group. It really could have been any worker, and then the same story and premise would have prevailed. Like, it doesn't matter so much that we're freeing Gersh, but the action of actually freeing somebody is what's important, because originally Richthofen came to Ascension because he was interested in the Casimir mechanism. This was something that Gersh had sort of theorized and was working on at the time. The idea behind this was he could use the energy from the Casimir mechanism in an effort to become an ultimate being on the map Moon. Unfortunately, he realizes when freeing the Mystery Man that this isn't going to quite work. There isn't enough energy and there isn't enough power to be able to do what he wants, and that's when he has to sort of move on to a plan B. And his plan B is to actually go to Call of the Dead, grab the Golden Rod, which is another source of infinite energy, and use that to create a different kind of Casimir mechanism in a vacuum of space. So that's what's going on. When we free the Mystery Man, it's important to the story because that's when Richthofen sort of takes his plan in a different direction. However, freeing Gersh specifically doesn't matter as much. So that's about it for this week's episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give the video a like, and hey, maybe even subscribe. I upload new episodes every week, and if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll enjoy the next one. Let's see if we can try to hit 300 likes on this video. If we can do that, I think that would be pretty sweet. In addition to that, you guys can also check out my second channel, as I previously mentioned. A link's down below. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be having just a regular commentary on there soon, letting you guys know what's going to happen. And then I'll also be having another video with a friend of mine where we play a pretty fun game called Mount Your Friend. So if you guys want to check out more Johnny J25, be sure to check out the first link in the description. Anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful day. Let's see if we can try to hit 300 likes, and bye.